1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. I'm Logan, sitting here with Trucker Andy and Kyle. Be sure to give us 5 stars and a great review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and Stitcher, where this podcast is available. Check out the website, coldcansnetwork.com and or countryandcoldcans.com. We have blog content and merch there for you. Brand new hats for tailgate season. The college football, college basketball podcast we have. We have new hats and t-shirts for that. Or if you just want to go with the OG, Country and Cold Cans, you know, the mainstay, the main brand. Country and Cold Cans is available as well. All right, fellas. I know y'all are not as big on the Twitter as I am, but there's this chick named Katie Noel Official is her TikTok name that I could not get away from this clip of her song. Don't know anything about her outside of not a fan of her music from the clip I saw. But you guys haven't seen it, right?
No, I've not seen the clip. I remember I've heard of her. She was in a playlist that we were going to do, but never happened.
She was in the playlist, really?
That never happened. We never recorded that episode.
Okay, so I guess she has come across our radar at some point. It's interesting. Was
the name of the song Home?
Maybe. Potentially.
That's not the Dierks Bentley one.
Yeah. Well, let me let you guys, since you haven't heard it, live react to what my timeline on Twitter was inundated with today. So here's a little clip of Katie Noel, whatever this song is called.
Scuffs on my veins, wearing these jeans. Roll tide, go balls, SEC. Smoking, drinking, fighting, riding, races, trackers, hard to straighten. Southern bells, get right beside us. Damn good day when the fish are biting. Top of water, stinky bobbers. I get these looks from my mama, kick ass from my father. Come on, surviving, we living. Stealing hearts with the shit eating, grinning. Fried chicken, cat head biscuits. Summertime glow, beer, sweet smoke, brisket. Scuffs.
This is one reason why I hate TikTok. That's just bad.
I don't know. That was kind of funny.
That's like okay. All right. I have so many thoughts immediately. One, we made fun of a girl named Savannah Dexter for doing very similar to that.
Yeah.
I don't think you made fun of her.
I think that you were just like, I don't care what she sings like.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, man. She got,
she's a nice looking lady.
Yeah, and she did it with not in the fall. She did it during the summertime. That's all I'm gonna say in her music video. Two, this is like the female version of the people that I imagine listen to Brantley Gilbert music.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, but they're just like masturbatory to their pickup truck and their corn growing in the field.
In their John Deere that they've never driven.
That's right. Yeah. So that's my first 2 immediate thoughts.
I love that she shouted out SEC.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that there's a lot of SEC fans that are like, yo, this is my shit. This needs to be the SEC theme song.
I'm not gonna lie. That is the polar opposite of what I thought it was gonna be. I saw her picture. It was like judging a book by its cover, and I was like, "Oh, it's going to be a fairly innocuous song." I thought it was going to be something uber political. She was going to hit on something, and people were like, "Oh, I can't believe this white girl says this." And then it was that, and I was like, "Oh, that's not what I expected at all."
I mean, but hey, you know the policy on Country and Cold Cans. We don't care if you're left, right, or center. We don't cover politics on here.
Yeah, well, I just didn't really know what it was going to be. I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't have any expectations. Yeah, that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, she's going to just do some super political song and people are going to be upset about it. And then it was the furthest thing from that. And it was like the white trash anthem.
I mean, she even, like, from the chorus, the only thing that I remember from what she said was, come on, and fried chicken. Other than that, none of that stuck. It was just a word salad to me. And then, like, the rap part, again, other than SEC, and I think she may have said that one line that I hate in all of mainstream country. This is how we do. Like I hate that phrase. Like I think she may have said that.
I'm pretty confident she said she got her nuts from her mama.
No, she said something nicer about her mama, but her
whoop your ass like my dad or something like that. And it was like got it from my mama or something like that.
Yeah, so it was something nicer about her mom, and then talking about she'll whoop your ass from her daddy. And I'm just like, okay.
I don't think she got her. No, nobody gonna say that. Andy, I don't think she got her nuts from her mama. What was her name? I gotta rewatch this as we live
sure
discuss
that's what
this.
she said.
Katie Noel is her name.
Katie Noel. That's
what I heard.
Maybe it's Katie Noel. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's spelled Noel. Now, one thing is, this went kind of like mini viral amongst the independent and kind of like Texas music we all listen to, which is a lot of our Twitter timeline.
She's got a lot of views.
Oh yeah, like tons of views, but like, you know, a lot of shitty content gets lots of views, and no offense, but this is kind of shitty.
Crack-a-lack films.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh my god!
As we say, tractor rap is kind of popular.
It is. This feels like it would be right at home with what's his name, Ryan Upchurch, and can't remember the other guys' names that all sing about nonsense.
If you search Katie Noel, the first thing that shows up is it's Katie Noel Upchurch, Katie Noel Jelly Roll. That's the first two things that pop up.
While I'm not a big fan, I'm not a big Jelly Roll guy overall. His 2 radio singles he put out, like "Son of a Sinner," I don't dislike that song. I kind of like that song.
He's a fairly decent writer.
I think he is too. I think that it's just the tractor rap stuff. Obviously, not my thing. But like his new song, since he's been kind of rolling with the Ernest Hardy crew, like he's putting out a country record, a mainstream country record, and that song "Son of a Sinner" I kind of like. I'm not going to sit there and act like it's the worst thing I've ever heard by any means, but like his tractor rap stuff and anything Upchurch has ever done, I'm just not a fan. It just isn't my thing. I think it's I think it's just bad. We know Classic Rock Carter hates Upchurch.
Yeah, he does.
And I got offended when Carter was like, "Oh, that y'all's boy y'all had on the podcast." I was like, "No, do not besmirch Austin Upchurch's name with Ryan Upchurch, because Austin Upchurch puts out good music and he's a cool dude. Ryan Upchurch looks like a tool and he puts out shitty music. They share the same last name, only similarity."
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to say about this song is I think this is one of those songs that you will never heard played out loud.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think that if TikTok wasn't a thing, this song probably wouldn't have even gotten the light of day.
Oh, there's people that will bang to it.
But it's a small percentage of music listeners.
But they got headphones on.
Oh, I thought you meant something else.
No, they got headphones on. They're not banging it. They're not banging.
Yeah, I don't. This isn't going to be a very popular song on the song's merits. But either way,
I can see it being popular on songs' merits. Tractor rap's popular, and isn't that pretty much the definition of it?
Yeah, but it's popular with a very small contingent of the music listening people. Like it's not a popular genre overall. It's very much a scene. You know what I mean? It's not like
up what you're putting down.
Yeah, it's a scene. Like there are people that love it, and there are people that don't know it exists, and there are people that hate it. Count me in the crowd that kind of hates it.
I like how she crushes the beer. She crushes the beer can and then drinks it.
I'm sure she looks like the kind of girl that probably would take Grizzly Wintergreen long cut and just put a big old fucking horseshoe in her mouth. So like,
no, she could outdip me in my heyday, bro. No doubt.
She could outdip me. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say that.
In my heyday, probably could outdrink me.
I don't know. Now that science just says she probably can't, because you and I are just bigger than she is. We probably can still.
There's a lot of auto tune in this song too.
Now, Andy, I don't say this as a slight, but she might could outdrink you right now because you've been off the sauce for so long.
I ain't never been a high consumer of alcohol.
Well, I lived with you for 4 years. I'm calling bullshit on that.
I never had big numbers.
Andy,
Andy, you were prolific at one time.
There was a time that me and you would have a bottle of Jim Beam White Label, and we'd finish it, and you'd be like, "Oh, look how much whiskey we drank last night."
Yeah, well, beer.
And that-
beer.
Well.
Yeah.
There was a time.
Well, it's
When
whiskey.
we to paraphrase BJ Barham, when we were younger men. I can't do that. I can't do that anymore either.
I've
But-
never been a big numbers guy on beer. Just never had it in me.
Well-
Could not physically stomach it.
You've had some moments. I mean, Triangle Beach Music Festival 2013 says otherwise.
When I
All
went to
day
road
affair,
trip-
bro.
When I went to road trip to Raleigh and saw American Aquarium, Andy, I think you at least had 12 plus.
I think I was drinking whiskey.
No, you weren't drinking whiskey. You were drinking
was like-
wiki.
Yeah, it might have been wicked. Well, if
I think that was some wiki.
Some wiki. You done made an old man spill his driving wiki.
Who's driving Wiki? I do know where this is going to be played, but I don't know who listens to this podcast. I don't want to get blacklisted. I wouldn't know where the song's played. I don't want to get blacklisted though.
Yeah, well, I
still-
found this video interesting because I was just like, it was all over Twitter today, and I was just like, well, if even some of the people that follow us, listen to us, don't know what we're talking about, and I was like, this doesn't even. I was like, this is just bad. I got to get the live reaction from my not as active social media co-hosts here. I think we're all kind of in agreement. Not great. Now, on the flip side, on some positive news. I might have something that I do about Chase Rice's album as like a short podcast in the future, but go ahead.
She from North Carolina.
Oh, I have no idea. I know nothing about
Pretty
this
sure.
girl.
I'm
I think
pretty
she
sure that
is.
song was the one that was in that playlist was about North Carolina.
Watch
she
her,
has
her live
another
in
one.
Raleigh.
She has another one called These Roads, and she's wearing a
Maybe
McDowell
that was
County
it.
Letterman.
That might have been it.
She's wearing a McDowell County Letterman jacket, which I'm almost positive is in North Carolina Mountain County.
So it's Western North Carolina.
Yeah. I'm almost positive it
Dude,
is.
her Instagram handle is @IamDieselGang.
So she's about that rolling coal, ain't she?
She's definitely part of that tractor.
Yeah,
hat
McDowell.
crowd.
McDowell. Yeah, that's a North Carolina county. It's
So
yeah.
is she the one that said Diesel Gang a lot in some song that I've heard before?
I'm sure it has to be because she has
Diesel Gang
apparel. Diesel Gang apparel is something that she sells.
Be honest,
Diesel
I like
Gang,
Diesel
Diesel
as much
Gang.
as the next guy, but I'm out. I'm not joining a gang over it.
I don't know.
McDowell County is right before you get to Buncombe County, which is Asheville.
Okay, so she's Western North
40.
Carolina then.
Yeah, on 40, yeah.
Hey, we're from the 252. We're from that Eastern North Carolina gang,
Gang.
But not Diesel Gang.
but not Diesel Gang. but anyways, Chase Rice, impressed with his record that came out. The three of us listened to one of his songs and his music video for Bench Seat. Gotta say, I think the music video is very, very well done. I think the song's decent. I think it's pretty good. Andy, I know you had some thoughts. You were talking about pre-recording.
Yeah, the video I think is pretty fantastic. That's probably up there on the music video list for me. I thought the video was really good. The song I don't necessarily think the song's less than. It's not bad, obviously, but I was about to trip over my words on that one. But I don't think the song you can get the song after you see the video. I don't think you can pick up on what he's meaning by this song without seeing the video. And I think that is a damper on the song, which I just found out today, going through the song. The song is written in first person of the dog. Never would have picked up on that without seeing the video.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that at all when I first listened to it the first couple times.
I wouldn't have even picked up that it was even about a dog without seeing the video.
And see, after seeing the video, it's pretty clear to me when I listen to the lyrics. But it wasn't clear through the lyrics. I think that's my only real criticism of it. I wasn't totally sure that he was talking about a dog if I hadn't seen the music video. Now, after seeing that, it makes sense to me, and I kind of like it because it gives a different narrative to it. But I wouldn't have called on that, like you said, if it wasn't for the music video.
There's no way to.
Because he refers to the dog as like he and everything, which is fine. But I didn't know it was a dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This reminds me, was it Geo, the one we talked about with the stripper?
Oh, with the stripper and like the 19-year-old that was like sweeping floors at the strip club.
Yeah, you'd have never known what that song is even remotely about without a music video. Which I'm not going to call it a demerit against it, but it is certainly less clear. And maybe some songs are open to interpretation, which would make them good. But
this song could be about a person easily as well.
Like it could be. It's just it's weirder to think about it being a person because unless it was talking like if you say it's your friend or your granddad or your dad, it's kind of weird being like, oh well, we go cruising and I have you and her on the bench seat. Like, what are you doing? Like picking up your buddy, going to go ride around with your wife on the bench seat? It makes more sense with a dog.
Yeah,
I wish he had some details in the songwriting about like maybe tracking mud on the seat or something.
Just like one tip at the beginning.
One tip that it was about a dog.
That it's about a dog.
Because don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for dog songs. Love those. I love that cliche about country music that people hate. When they hate country, they're like, oh, yeah, my dog died. You know what? I like songs about dogs, so fuck you.
Hey, guess what? In this song, the dog doesn't die. You die.
True. Spoiler alert. You die. The dog lives.
Until the end. Then the dog dies too.
And then the dog dies too of natural causes. But, music video, you banged your head against the counter.
There was a couple of things I didn't like about the song. I don't do well with these type of issues. Watching this music video made me slightly uncomfortable.
We've had private conversations about our differences on those things, which is fair.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's his girlfriend. She knows he's got issues. Like,
no, I will say the only kind of like weird aspect was it was kind of his group counselor that suddenly became his girlfriend and his wife / baby mama. Like, maybe there's a conflict of interest there. Find a new therapist. Rule number one in therapy, folks: don't sleep with your therapist.
Unless you're didn't work out for a good time, not a long time.
Didn't work out for Robin Scherbatsky and How I Met Your Mother. It won't work out for you.
Well, like my thing is like the girl that's in the music video. She sees him obviously at the bathroom counter that night, and he's irritable. Blah blah blah.
Well, that was after they were together and had a kid.
Yeah, but still, she sees him and she doesn't really do anything about it. And then, like, it cuts and he's OD'd in the floor. And I'm like, oh, God. That's, oh, no.
We're not laughing at the ODing. We're laughing at Kyle's reaction, America.
I'm saying, oh, no. Well, it's really dark. And she's at the funeral. Like, it's so sad. Like, bitch, you saw him.
Yeah, and,
call the police on him or something. Come on now.
Oh, she
dry his ass out. His ass out.
To your point, if she was really his group counselor and or therapist or whatever, and obviously by the video she was, then she probably should have recognized the behavior as being destructive and done something other than just leave.
Maybe she trusted him.
Well, she might have trusted him,
but he was better.
I'm sorry, man. Anybody? I don't do well in these type of situations, but. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw one of y'all with a bottle of pills at a sink and you were just
leave me alone, Kyle's like, I'm not gonna leave you alone.
Going through withdrawals in front of me, if you can get as pissed off as you want to, but I'm gonna at least call the police on you, and you're gonna dry out at the police department. You're not gonna OD.
Well, see, I don't even think it was withdrawals.
I will be
because
a rat.
They were his prescription pills. So I don't even think it was withdrawals. I think that he was dealing with like real mental health issues, and he decided to take all the pills instead of some of the pills, and then the end was bleak.
This is why there's not much difference between doctors and serial killers. But I digress.
I take Kyle.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a good music video.
No, but like the music video was very thought provoking, and I like this side of Chase Rice. I've been somebody that's flip flopped on Chase Rice over the years. Where his very first record when he was in college, I had some songs on there that 18-year-old me loved, like PBJ's PBRs. Oh, I can relate to that song. As dumb as the song probably actually was at the time, Andy and I used to rock out to "We Going Out" before we were about to go out. Like, you know, it's just Redneck Rat Pack, right?
He's had some good stuff.
He's had some good stuff mixed in
I
with some
flip
stuff
flopped
that
on
was
him
less.
more than a flip flop.
Yeah.
So
It's like I've liked some of his stuff. I haven't liked others. I mean, so but this record overall was a net positive, and I think that he, you know, I take him at face value when he says, you know, this is the record he wanted to make. He didn't. He got his first big break writing "Cruise" with Florida Georgia Line, so that was the big thing at the time. And then he was like, I didn't want to necessarily make that kind of music, but I had success with it, so I did it. I can't say that I would have
like
done
that's
any
what everybody
different.
says.
Sure, but Andy, he had what probably the biggest song of the 2010s in mainstream country. You know, if you wrote that, like you're probably like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna keep writing it.
I feel like saying like I don't want to make this record, but I really want the money from it.
Oh, well, who wouldn't, right?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's kind of just like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I made this on purpose because I wanted the money, and now I'm a little ashamed of it. Yeah, right.
On that side of that argument, I kind of have two different opinions. Like one, for people like us and people that are big fans and or commentators and or bloggers and or what have you, it's easy for us to say, oh, I wouldn't do that when we're not making music. The only people that really have a real leg to stand on are the people in the independent scene that are not making that kind of music when they probably could. Yeah. The rest of us are just like, yeah, we chase the bag. Let's be honest.
I feel like that's what we always say. We always criticize him for doing it, and then one of us always says, "Oh, I'm sure he's drying his tears with $100 bills."
Hey, shit! This is kind of this just in. Looks like my brother and his wife are at a Morgan Wade concert right now. That's cool in DC.
Oh, speaking of Morgan Wade, how many freaking times is she going to release The Night? I'm sorry, it's starting to get a little old.
She's only
The Night Part 1 or Part 2.
She just released another EP with the acoustic and EP 1 and 2. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Kyle, I think you need to just stop hating on everything with Morgan Wade, dude. I think you're going to turn against her. You're going to be one of those independent fans that I don't like.
I'm starting to get annoyed, yes, because like
Kyle's gonna be like, it ain't as good as her old music.
Like, I mean, she just releases another EP. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, hey, I still listen to Riley Green every time he puts out an EP and does the same shit.
He does do that song.
Andy, this is going to annoy you. She has The Night and The Night Part 2. All right, songs about mental health. You know, fine, fair enough. But then she did the Part 2 acoustic and then the Part 2 acoustic live.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that on an EP? It's not. It's not. I'm sorry. It annoys me. It infuriates.
I don't like it.
I got so excited when it
fair enough.
Spotify feed. Oh,
stop paying attention to EPs. Then is all I can say, because EPs are
promoting them in my new feed,
dude. It's the streaming era, man. Albums are too long. People release things over and over to keep their name in the algorithm. It's just the way it works.
Well,
I don't like it either.
I got excited. I was like, oh, yes, new Morgan Wade. Oh, yeah. Psych.
Well,
psych.
Before we move into our two songs to talk about this week, I will say this Friday, Muscadine Bloodline new record drops Teenage Dixie, February 24th. So, yeah, that'll be one that we're looking forward to. I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it.
I am hyper.
Active.
That's what I'm supposed to say.
I'm hyper. This is going to be litty titty. So, old college friend of ours used to say that. So, for those of you that are probably like, "What is this old person on the podcast saying?"
You got that Riz.
Yeah, he's got that Riz, right, Andy?
I forgot what that meant.
Charisma, bro.
I thought it was Raz.
No, it's Riz, no cap, fam. Anyways.
Don't be a simp, boy.
Yeah, you simp ass boy.
You guys don't even know if you're using these words correctly.
I have no
I'm just
idea.
winging it.
I'm out of the cool kids club at this point. I'm too old. So anyway, stop being a simp. No cap. All right, let's talk about Parker McCollum. He released a new song. A lot of songwriters on this one. But the songwriters that are on it are pretty good songwriters. So, for instance, I was looking at the song credits the other day, and John Randall, Lori McKenna, Lee Miller, and Liz Rose wrote this with Parker. So, I mean, again, 5 writers, but these are 5 quality writers. So I was interested to hear it. Curious to get your guys' thoughts in just a minute. All right, Kyle, new Parker, what do you think?
I am somewhere in the middle of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it's starting to sound a lot alike.
So you're saying that he's falling into the Riley Green trap?
He's getting very close.
But we like Riley.
Yeah, we do. No,
you can say the same about George Strait over his career. I'm not comparing the two, but
I do say that about George Strait.
Alan Jackson.
No, you can't criticize Alan Jackson. No, the one critique or difference I would separate between Riley Green and Parker currently is that a lot of Parker's lyrics aren't the exact same. Riley has a problem of writing the same song but saying different words.
Sure.
But he's I don't know. It's starting to get a little samey.
All right, Andy, what about you?
I like the way this sounds. I don't really think that it's that similar sounding. The chorus is really catchy, but I am getting a little lost here on the writing and the chorus specifically. To me, it sounds like he completely contradicts himself from the beginning of the chorus to the end. Dreamers like me wander off sometimes, and then it goes, I ain't going nowhere. Those two things are complete opposites.
I mean, could it be that dreamers like him wander off sometimes, but right now he's deciding he's not going to wander off, so he's not going anywhere because he cares about her that much?
But it says, I can't stop. I'm begging to stop now. I don't want to make you miss me, so I ain't going nowhere.
Well, okay.
That doesn't make sense, dog.
Dog.
Andy's trying to channel his inner 2002 and be cool.
That capping, bro.
But he's like, I mean, it could be that, dreamers like me wander off sometimes, a little restless, running my bloodline, always looking for something out of reach. Yeah, well, I can't stop, baby. I'm begging to stop now. I don't want to make you miss me, so you know what? I'm not going anywhere. It could be just like, this is what I normally do. This is my normal tendencies. This is my red flag, so to speak like the kids do. And then be like, but you know what? This time I don't want to make you miss me. I'm not going anywhere this time.
But he can't stop.
But he just said, but I don't want it. He said, but I don't want to make you miss me. So I ain't going nowhere.
A but is the difference in everything.
A but is very much the difference. That's just simple grammar, dude.
No.
Yes, it is.
Bruh, you making stuff up.
Oh my gosh.
Is it a but with 2 T's or one?
Show it to me in dictionary.
1 T.
No, 1 T. Yeah.
Andy, that conjunction changes the idea of the sentence. If it was and, it would have a different connotation.
Well, I don't know what a conjuncture is. So
my more cynical take of the song is the reason every other song is marked out is because it's every other song he ever produced, and you could have just taken the melody and stuck it on any other one. But I'm not that cynical. But that's what I thought. I was like,
well, so let's get to. So here's my take on it. In agreement with both of you on some of the points you both made. One, I do really like the song. Am I a bit of a Parker apologist at times? Of course. But I like the driving melody. I like the driving kind of feel to the song where it's going along. Like Andy said, I am drawn to songs that sound like this, just like Andy is. Now, to Kyle's point, it is kind of similar to stuff he's released recently. So I understand that aspect of it. I still think that because Parker at this point is not necessarily quote unquote part of the Texas scene anymore. He's part of the mainstream, just like Cody Johnson is. This is still one of the better songs in the mainstream. So if you judge it amongst his peers, this is a good song. I'm a big believer in judge it amongst the peers. But I do think that in terms of in a vacuum compared to conjuncture, conjunction, not conjuncture, but
any conjecture.
Andy was talking about like but versus and.
But, a conjunction. Okay.
Yeah, he just thought I said conjuncture. But
okay.
But I think that overall it's a good song. But I do get your point, Kyle, of the sameness to some of the recent stuff. Like I'm not saying that Parker's music isn't bad now since he signed his record deal and all that. But I understand if people are like, oh, it feels a little sanitized compared to, say, Misunderstood and or Limestone Kid. I get that. Still think it's a good song. But, you know, I don't think we're going to get Meet You in the Middle anytime soon. That song was straight fire.
What about Noise Complaint? Or Love that he did with Co?
Oh, you're talking about Co Wetzel's discography now.
Well, he's on that.
He's on it. He's a feature, though.
I know. That's probably the best song of the album. In my opinion.
It's one of the better songs on that album. But
yeah.
Overall,
I mean, I'm not like hating on it. It's just I want something different.
You want some variety.
Yeah,
you want a hell of a year to come back out again. Something like in that vein.
I want more Young Man's Blues, not so much hell of a year. And like I said, my cynical take is I feel like whatever the hell he marked out on his album cover is probably past songs that they could have slapped this general sound.
I mean,
behind.
he just didn't want to release the track list. Now, we have to give Parker a tip of the cap here. It looks like it's only going to be about 12 songs on the album. Like, that's out of the ordinary for a mainstream artist now.
Well, the way you see the Ernest just doubled up on a previous album that was 12 songs. So
yeah, that's kind of cheating. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the new streaming era. We talked about that last episode for anyone that wants to hear about it, or 2 episodes ago. But you know, it's kind of
still soft
streaming era.
Yeah, well, Handle on You is going to be one of them.
Well, no. If you actually watch go back and look on your Spotify and let it play. Handle on You and Stoned are unmarked out at certain times, but that one and those 2 and this one, I Ain't Going Nowhere, are the only ones that are not marked out at some point on it. Now, I think there's going to be
You is fire.
Handle on You is really good.
Every time that little ad comes up from where it won something, that Parker has, I was like, yeah, this is good.
There is going to be a song though that is called Speed. I'll send it to you guys, or you guys can look it up on YouTube. Not quite, but that's a good song. I've heard the live version of it, but anyways, let us know what you think of the Parker song in the description of this podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. There's a link that says click here to leave a voicemail. We want to hear what you think about, Katie Noel. We want to hear what you think about Chase Rice, the new Parker song, and also the next song we're about to talk about, Bailey Zimmerman, Andy's Boy, Fixin' to Break.
Tell me something. What's been on your mind? Are you thinking about running? 'Cause I'm sitting here losing mine, and there ain't nothing you can say to me right now to change the way I love you. But if it's up to you this time, tell me what it is you're thinking. Shoot me straight. Are we fixing to break?
So I'm going to go first real quick on this, Andy, before I throw it over to you. I personally am not as big of a Bailey Zimmerman guy as you are, but this is the best song he's released so far. Production-wise, songwriting-wise, there's pedal steel in this. It's audible. Love to hear that. I'm a fan of this song. So, Andy, Bailey Zimmerman guy on the podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, this is pretty up there on his list for me. If you could take out some of the whoa-oh-ohs, we'd be way up there. Not a fan of the whoa-oh-ohs.
I don't like how it starts with that either.
Yeah, I don't like that it ends with it too. Not a big fan of the whoa-oh-ohs and just in general. But like the way at the end of the chorus, like the beat kind of kicks up and goes like fast, like rolling beat. I don't know how you would classify that in musical language, but I like the way it's written. I like the fixing stuff to the relationship comparisons that he makes, like that we could build this house up or we could tear it down. I like those analogies, like the way it's written, like the way it sounds. Pretty big on this one.
Yeah, with you on that. I like this one by Mr. Zimmerman. Kyle, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you, Logan. It's the best song he's put out so far. Bone to pick. He slapped. Of course, he just had to slap "Rock in a Hard Place" on this. Why can't it just be one song? I'm sorry, that annoys me to no end.
What are you talking about on Spotify?
Yeah. If you click on the "Fixing the Break" single, there's 2 songs on it.
Well, see,
how is it a single with 2 songs?
I like that because then when I
It
find the
annoys
new song, I don't have to go. Like if I want to play that for any artist, I don't have to go find the other songs separately. Like it keeps the new releases packaged together until the album comes out.
I do like 2 song singles because A side, B side.
It's old.
That's
school.
actually very old.
I don't like it. But he has better songs than "Rock in a Hard Place." But
I didn't mind that one.
This is his best song.
I agree.
Quite a long shot. This is actually one of the songs that I actually listened to multiple times and actually ran it back. So I was very high on this song. I don't really have anything to criticize the song other than the fact he slapped "Rock in a Hard Place" on it, which just annoys me.
I think that we've come to the conclusion that Kyle hates the streaming platform.
Like, here's my thing. On Spotify, if you wanted to listen to all of his stuff, you just go to the popular and hit it, and it'll play literally every song he has. And when he runs out, it'll go to Bailey Zimmerman Radio. Spotify's figured it all out for you.
Sure, but then if you
don't have to do anything.
But if you have someone that's released a lot of music, say like Muscadine Bloodline, they release their new stuff. You'll be there for a while, and you may not hear the new stuff packaged together like you want. Excuse me, indigestion. I'm getting old.
They make playlists.
Yeah, but like then I have to make my own playlist. Like I like the new stuff being packaged together.
So why doesn't
I get your point. I get your point.
Why doesn't Spotify, just when you do that stuff, push the newer stuff to the beginning when they start playing you stuff, and then we can just go back to releasing stuff the right way?
Well, then you're just talking about, you want the computer algorithm to control everything you listen to, whereas I like to be in control. I like if I want to listen to only these 3 songs, they have it available.
But I'm saying if you just, when like what Kyle's saying, the new stuff just gets pushed to the beginning. But if you want to go listen to the stuff you want to listen to, it's all there listed in like singles, A side, B side, by themselves, albums. It's all there for you to do that.
My other thing is that people make playlists.
Meet in the middle, man.
Yeah, but I don't always want to make playlists for everything.
You don't have to. You can just search if people have already made it.
But then you're driving, and I don't want to put the people on the road in danger around me. Sorry, I'm looking out for the folks.
Okay.
Like that stopped you before.
You just need to get you a driver.
Andy's probably like scariest thing was ever like when my contacts messed up on the road, and I was like, I can't see. Tell me, are they coming?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Hold the wheel.
Be like, all right, I can't see to the right.
Logan will be going somewhere he doesn't know where he's going. He won't be on his phone because that's illegal. He would never do something like that. But you say something to him, and then he's like, "Have we crashed yet?"
That reminds me, when we were in high school, we used to play this thing where I'd roll my windows down in my car, and I would cock my head over like I was asleep, and we would take the steering wheel and just slowly start to merge, see people's reactions.
Oh, jeez. I was like, I almost tried to wreck us just to see if people were paying attention.
We used to, a person in the passenger seat would hold the steering wheel and just slowly merge them and then pull back over.
Yeah.
So, we thought it was hilarious. It was probably the stupidest shit of all time, but yeah.
No, I've done dumber.
Yeah.
So last thing about Bailey Zimmerman before we wrap up the show, I sent it to you guys. Our friends over at Hippies and Cowboys posted something about Bailey Zimmerman's live performance recently, and objectively speaking, they were not wrong. It was a bad performance. Like, it was really bad, right? I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but it was just like so off pitch, so out of tune. Not great. Now, I will say Bailey Zimmerman has responded to the criticisms he's gotten on the internet over that. He said that his in-ear monitors, as they in the music business call them their ears, said it went out, said that, he was he wasn't able to hear himself. I get it. Like that's understandable. It's when you're in a loud venue and not great acoustic venue and people are being rowdy, it does affect your singing. So I'll give him a pass this time on that, because I've heard him sing some acoustic stuff and it sounded fine. But I will say my antenna went up on, can this guy actually sing? When I first heard that video that the good folks over at Hippies and Cowboys shared on Twitter. But I'll give him I'm willing to grant a little bit of benefit of the doubt on this, because of, if the in-ear monitors went out, that's a different scenario.
Does it matter if he
Can't
can
be
really
his
sing or not, though?
Well, I mean, it does in terms of what we do here. Like, obviously, we're a little more mainstream friendly than some of our friends on Twitter, but, do you really want to support
some
an artist
AA
that
guys.
can't really sing?
We're some AA guys, and you constantly tell me BJ can't sing.
I said BJ. No, I agree. BJ is not a technically great singer. BJ himself has said that. BJ does try to, stay on tune, or like however you describe it, with the technical vocal side of it. But they make up for it with their energy and their live performance. I haven't seen that from Bailey Zimmerman to give him that grace yet.
We're going to go down a dark road talking about Ken and can't sing, because we did this on a drunk podcast that never got published. This can't be his first show, right? Obviously, we have other video of him singing live, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could obviously determine off that, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, like, Mike and Garrett at Hippies and Cowboys are much more into like the hardcore independent stuff than we are. They probably haven't sought out as much Bailey Zimmerman stuff as we have. So it's understandable why, if that's what they come across, because people on Twitter are roasting him for it, that's probably like their first interaction with him singing live. I have heard him sing like acoustically, and it sounded fine to me. But that particular video was not good. But it makes sense if his ears went out, and he couldn't hear himself.
No chance of the substances, are there?
I don't know.
Definitely seen that go bad.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, we've seen certain people fall off stage.
Very true. But either way, we'll grant him the Country and Cold Cans benefit of the doubt on this. But be sure to give us 5 stars, great review, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Stitcher, and check out the website, countryandcoldcans.com, for blog content and merch. Pick up a Country and Cold Cans hat. Andy's wearing the old school hat right now. I'm wearing the new school hat. Kyle's not wearing it at all because he never wears the ones we give him. And he does have it on display in his man cave. So I have mad respect for that. We have T-shirts. We have koozies. Check all that out. Be sure to click on the link within the description of this podcast where it says click here to leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you. Speakpipe.com/coldcans. Click the button that says record, speak your piece, click send. We'll respond to you on the podcast. And, for this episode of Country and Cold Cans, I'm Logan, sitting there with Trucker Andy and Kyle. We'll see you next time.
Take care, guys.